French colony for a long time. And France is still fighting to have full control of that nation. But not too long ago, about 2002, there was a coup, or like a overthrow of the country by a young military individual named Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore. I'm trying to say the names right. He was in the military. He was part of a unit, they claim, Cobra, what was fighting the jihadists, because there's jihadists, or there were, in the country trying to, influence it like many others. So he's a soldier, a young soldier, about age 30, 37, one of the youngest African leaders ever, and he's a president. Right now, he's trying to make his country more, better by sharing the wealth. What France been taking and other colonies been, benefiting off of. So they're making him in the media, right? Especially Western media, some of them, well, a lot of them, into a villain. Meanwhile, he's a hero to Africa. He's even helping other African nations with food, countries what really need it. He's bringing free education, free medicine to his people. His people love him, right? They love him. But he's a villain to the Western, world, what you call it, like America, Europe, and all of them. The only ones he has probably backing him is Russia. But he's doing good as a leader, young leader. Normally, they like to have the leaders in their hand, like a puppet, controlling them, controlling the resources. There's a lot of minerals, a lot of resources in that country, Burkina Faso. And it's a Western African country. Now that this guy's, taking control, he's influencing a lot of African leaders to do the same. He's trying to unite Africa. But a lot of people, well, there's certain individuals, certain nations, they don't like that, right? They don't like it. But who cares? Africa been raped and is still being raped, or for centuries, centuries and centuries, right? You want to call it grape or rape? I don't care. That's what's been going on. Burkina Faso is an example what other African countries need to do. Maybe you have to overthrow some of these people who's in control. Maybe because they're not doing anything for their people like we see in Burkina Faso with Ibrahim. Ibrahim is doing things. Maybe because he's a new generation. He's only 37 and he's the head of this nation because the people want him there. But there's many attempts to take his life. Not surprised. They would love to assassinate this brother because all what he's doing is positive works. I've seen the story posted many times on social media, but I have to admit I'm guilty of it. I did not pay that much attention to it. But now more attention has is focused on it. And I'm very surprised. But it's still overshadowed by a lot of garbage media that's out there that a lot of people find more interesting, like the Shannon Sharps situation and like this NFL stuff with Deion Sanders' son. Who gives a damn? That's a distraction. I could tell that's the distraction to something like this. What's important? France has a lot of colonies in Africa, and they still want a tight grip on Africa, right? Just a couple years ago, well, a good amount of years ago, when it was the 9/11 times, they were in Sierra Leone. They brought 700 troops to stop a rebellion. Because the reason they were in Sierra Leone is because of the cocoa plant, what makes chocolate. because France distributes a big amount of chocolate in the world, but guess where it comes from? Africa. So they still want to control that. They want to control even the chocolate. I don't know what happened with that. It became silent after, right? But this, Burkina Faso, they want it. They want this country because it probably has a lot of gold, I'm guessing, a lot of different minerals that's very precious. And this guy is in the way. He's not going with their plans. And he's influencing others to do the same, like him. Take control of your country in Africa. Too long, right? Too long. Africa been abused and used by Europe, by America, by everybody. Everybody is benefiting. Most of your phones, well, probably 100% of all phones, they have some element from Africa to work. The nuclear weapons, what they claim, well, certain nations claim they have. Without the uranium from Africa, it can't work. And there's more things they need from Africa. So this guy, Ibrahim Traore, they don't like. They would love to assassinate him. But in these days of social media, you got to be very careful because people are expecting that right now for his assassination. They're expecting that. Well, sorry, I don't want it to happen, but I would not be surprised. And I'm hearing, and I'm not surprised, these types of commentary or stories talking about it is shadow ban. And I'm not surprised they wouldn't want this message to go out there or some type of commentary on it to expose what's going on, right? They go by the franc. That's their currency right now in the world. But really, I think Africa, right, like Gaddafi was mentioning, should have their own currency. Africa needs its own currency right now. It's 2025. Africa needs to be fully independent. All of you colonizers need to get out or pay up, straight up, right? Ibrahim, right, Traore is a great example of leadership. Hopefully he doesn't flip because they'll try to offer him a lot of stuff, but it looks like he's comfortable. He is helping other African countries. He's helping them. He's actually giving aid to less fortunate African countries. So his influence will grow stronger. His support will grow stronger. And if he's assassinated, guess what, people? He will be like a martyr, right? He was in the military for a good long time. He was fighting terrorists, jihadists out of his country for a good long time. But something happened. Something happened with the president who was there before. Must have been doing a lot of dealings with France. Probably didn't like how the country direction was going. Right? He took the opportunity with his soldiers and the party to overthrow that government, to overthrow it, because he must have seen something wrong. He must have seen something wrong. He took it over and he's trying to do better for his people. He's trying to do better for his people and other nations out there. But it's a fight. He has to fight for his life every day in his situation. France, they're pretty deadly, France. First, just look on their politics and their socialism. You can't practice your religion freely in France. They could say what they want. You can't practice your religion freely down there. Just look it up. They had a lot of uprisings in France. They have a big African population because a lot of the colonies, right, in Africa was under or is under France. But Burkina Faso, that place, they really don't like what's going on right now because it affects them a lot. It's like, that is a big treasure for them to lose any control. No gold, no minerals, uranium for a nuclear weapon. I don't know why they would want that, but yeah, actually, I know why they would want that, but they want to keep well, they say you can't say that. They want to keep taking and taking from Africa, which they've been doing what I mentioned earlier. That's what they want to do. They don't care. They have no feelings for what's going on, right? In Africa, the other colonies, what they have. So they don't care. They would love to see this guy's demise, right? They would love to see Ibrahim's demise. He needs protection every day, I could imagine. Probably the world's most wanted. Call him Captain Africa. Because he's been in the military, still kind of has that. He's still wearing the military, military clothing, right? He's showing people that he's strong, independent, and he's not giving in. But a lot of African leaders have flipped over the years or over time. They have flipped. Will he flip? So far, he's showing independence, resilience, right? Ibrahim Traore. He's Muslim, right? I think he's, correct me if I'm wrong, Sunni Muslim or Sunni Muslim, but he doesn't agree with the jihadists because he was fighting against them for the government before. He was fighting against them to take them out, to run them out of his country. So he already been through a fight. Remember that. He's been through a fight. So the jihadists don't like him. The Western nations, England and Europe and all these other places, they don't like him. So in desperation, will they work with the jihadists? Or will they just encourage, that in a way, like, undercoverly? Because they desperately want all the minerals, all the gold controlled by them. And they're willing to punish them. What is he doing? What is Ibrahim Traore doing so bad? I want to know. Because it seems like how they're putting it out there, like he's not good. But social media, there's no gatekeepers. A lot of people are showing the real. They're showing the real. Nowadays you cannot hide everything like back in the days because there's social media. Even in Africa, they got technology. Guess what? They got social media too. And that's what's hurting the powers that be now. Because the thing which they helped create is going against them. Social media is going against them. And it's helping the new generation revolt against oppression in Burkina Faso. Just look it up yourself. Do your research, right? The people support him. So what are you going to do? Assassinate him? You really want to do that in these times? Assassinate a brother like that? It won't help. You see Trump, Donald Trump, you see all these others talking. They don't like what they see going on. What? You don't like an independent, strong black man from Africa standing up for his people? That is crazy. That's crazy. After all the stuff that Africa's been through the centuries, right? You guys have had enough. You guys have got fat off of Africa's back, and you want more and more. And you claiming this man is like, you're making this man look like he's bad, and he's giving back to his people. The man is giving back to his people. He's giving food to other African countries. He doesn't need to do that. He's promoting a united Africa. What's wrong with that? That's why right now, this story what I'm talking about, they have a whole bunch of foolishness out there sh- overshadowing this, putting a different image of a black man out there, right? A negative image, a very negative image. Most of the time, it's negative images they're putting and messages out there of a black man. Just look recently. I just have to talk about this. Puffy, right? And now Shannon Sharp. They have done it to others, but especially now in the world, what's going on, that overshadows this story. You got to search for it. It's overshadowing this story. And this story is not going to end. Hopefully, it doesn't end a bad way. Hopefully, more progress keeps going on in Africa and Burkina Faso because they don't want a big percent. They don't want no progress to happen in Africa. Let's be straight up. Ghana right now is offering free citizenship, or you could travel as long as you have, if you're especially African American, or I'm guessing anybody with African descent could go to Ghana, and some other countries are welcoming us. Free. Free. You might need a passport, but they're welcoming people, and they're giving you somewhere to live and a job, probably, compared to America and Canada and Europe, where you got to face a lot of discrimination just to get in, right? So they don't want a leader from Africa becoming very influential, very powerful, controlling their resources. Because if you have that and it becomes a trend and you get more countries becoming independent and more powerful, right? Then you're going to get the Africans or the black people in the diaspora more attracted to Africa. And maybe they will invest more in to Africa. And we will see a new world. Trust me, we will see a new world. That's why stories, or not real life stories, what I'm talking about right now, will be overshadowed. That's why our platform, D2E, Down to Earth, we talk about a lot of different media stuff, but we talk about the real stuff. And our channel is shadow banned for sure. I know we're shadow banned because I notice when I talk about stories like this, you could see the view count and you could see it's obviously shadow banned. But if I talk about some negative stuff, some street stuff with some street celebrities, oh, the views go up. Let me talk about some gangster stuff, some characters that are on social media platforms, and you will see the views go up. But if I'm talking about, for example, Black Power, education, some what they call conspiracies, the truth, if I'm talking about that, holy, you won't see anything. And you know what? My main goal, our main goal, is not the clicks, it's not the views, it's the message. It's who's searching for the message. It's always been the message, right? Like my pops told us, if you stand for nothing, if you don't stand up for something, you stand for nothing, right? I don't want to just make content just for the clicks and views. It's like, you know, I want to inform. I'm hoping that I inform. It's like a book. A lot of people don't want to read books nowadays, right? A lot of people don't want to educate themselves, feed their brain. So that's not attractive unless you develop over time and you seek the knowledge. That's what we are here for, Down to Earth podcast, Down to Earth network, edutainment. We have fun sometimes, but what's going on in Burkina Faso is very important. It's a big example of how oppressors want to keep their foot on people's necks, right? And Ibrahim Traoré is somebody who's picking up that foot off Africa's neck, right? They don't like his independence. They don't like what he's doing. And it's crazy because all he's doing is positive stuff for his people and trying to unite Africa. Because for so long, Africa itself been fighting within themselves. So finally, a man stands up for his country, and now he's public enemy number one. It's crazy, man. He's done a lot in his short period of time. 2022, he came to power, right? And I'm guessing this is how it's gonna play out. All of a sudden, the West is gonna say, when's the elections? So they could recruit somebody to take over. And if he doesn't have any elections, he will be the bad guy. They will make him out to be the bad guy, even though he's doing good right now. We shall see what happens in this situation, right? He's giving food to neighboring countries in Africa. He's talking up against the West. He's educated. Yep, he is educated. And he's ready to fight. He's already been through a fight. For years, he's been in the military. And he's young, only 37, right? So he can relate to a young generation and even older. Like I'm saying, this story is something the powers that be will shadow ban this. They will shadow ban this for sure. They do it all the time because I speak the truth. And my brother, we speak the truth. And the cast, the D2E family, we speak the truth. Even if it's talking about some foolishness, we speak the truth. The algorithm is not in favor for us because I'm not talking about right now no celebrities. I'm not talking about no gang shit. I'm not talking about stuff what's constantly posted. I'm not talking about Kanye West. I don't give a crap about that, right? I'm not talking about Shannon Sharp. I just said it right now. I'm just mentioning it. I'm giving you guys an example. But when you start talking about important things on platforms like this, they mark you, right? Just look. Anybody like me who brings you some information, and I encourage you all to go do your own research of what I'm talking about. They don't like. They don't like it. Trust me. They don't like it. It's out there, but they don't like it. This is something really scary for the West. And France, whoa, you guys are deadly, man. You probably will send an agent down there, or you already have, to assassinate the man. There's always a sellout, even in your own nation. They done it to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, and others. When you stand up for your rights, you stand up for your people, right? You are public enemy number one. Hopefully the brother survives and this whole journey and helps more and more, because there's a lot of work to be done in Burkina Faso and the rest of Africa. He's a great example of what needs to be done in Africa. We need more of this. We need unity, right? It would be nice if we had some leaders like that in America more, where there's a big population of black people. They have Farrakhan. Yeah, he's getting old. This is another thing. Do black Americans really think the fight is over because civil rights is not around anymore or is ended? Do you think it's over for you all? No. Look what's happening. Most of the prisons are filled up with who mostly? A lot of you are getting killed in the street, unalive in the street still. There's a lot of unfairness going on in America because of racism. Who is standing up for you? Who is standing up for us? Really? And Ibrahim, right? TRAORE is an example. What we need more of that. We need more Ibrahims. We need more Ibrahims, not more. No more raccoons. No more raccoons, because you could see, you could become a football player, you could become a musician, you could do all the stuff you want, especially in America, but when they're ready to take it away and to assassinate your character and put you in prison or set you up with some female, they will do it. You see it happening. You see it happening. And it's obvious because you don't see no other race they're doing that to. And don't tell me these other celebrities or wealthy people who are not black don't have dirt on them. They just know to hide it better. So, back to Burkina Faso. In Burkina Faso, the people are happy. They're very happy because their leader is doing something for them. Not just talking. He's doing something for them, right? And the West and France, they're smart. They're very smart in this way. Maybe, I shouldn't even take that back. If you try to assassinate this brother, you will see a big, big African revolution that you never seen before. I'm going to say it again. If you guys think you're going to assassinate this brother, like X, like Martin, right, and others with their character, you're going to have a big problem. And I'm asking for our brothers and sisters in America to wake the F up. Because what I'm getting off of a lot of you, you think that America is good to you, that it's yours. Remember, they had something they called slavery. There was slavery. It wasn't meant for you really to be free. Something changed for them to stop what they were doing. But if it was up to them, they would have us still serving them the same way like they done, 80, 90 something years ago. Right? They would still be doing it. But they needed new slaves and a new way to do slavery because the world was growing. So people, please subscribe, like, all that good stuff. This is your host, Sean Myrie of D2E, with a very, very important episode. Please support, donate if you can. The PayPal link is there. If you have PayPal, you can donate. It helps us out a lot. And subscribe, share the content. This is some real down to earth for all of you. Bless up.